This is Leonotis leonurus, lion's tail, and one of the more unique plants I've ever seen. The flower shape speaks for itself and is very profuse. This is September 1st. I'm in a coastal part of California in Watsonville, and these are in full display right now. Now, I live in an inland area, and mine have been blooming for some time now in the middle of summer, so I'd say they started more in June or July. This is a woody shrub slash perennial. You can see here they've got the woody base, and then as you go up the stem, it's more herbaceous and softer. These flowers, as I said, are something special, and I've never seen this at my house, but the honeybees are loving this thing. They are all over it. I've never really seen this concentration at my place, but I'm at a nursery and this is the first plant I've seen them all over. So what I can tell you about this is where I am in an inland valley, these freeze back during the winter most years, not every year. But if we get into the high 20s, mine burn back, and you can see a maintenance video on how to take care of them in that situation. And then they come back out of it. I would say that I've heard of these dying where I am. I think they like good drainage, and I think if you get the cold combined with poor drainage, you're going to have a hard time with this in an inland valley where it gets colder. Near the coast, my dad has this. I used it in his yard. And
thought I'd just show you the example of the one at my dad's place. This is in Monterey area near the coast where it's quite cool, and his have become freakishly large. This plant right here is 7 feet tall by 5 feet wide. And the other thing is it perpetually blooms all year long near the coast, at least in his area. The only time it's not in bloom is when it's been cut back, like you saw in the previous photo. It just has an amazing bloom cycle. What else I can tell you about it is very deer resistant. He has a huge deer issue where he lives, and they reliably leave this alone. Also, this is drought resistant. So once it's established, it can subsist on little or no water. So if you're going to use this in a grouping, I would say give it 4 feet on center spacing, and if you're inland, presume that it's going to be about 3 to 5 feet tall, and if you're near the coast, it's could easily do 6 to 7 feet tall, as you see here. The other thing I wanted to mention is that these bloom on new wood and at the tips of the new branches. So you can see at the top of these flower heads, that's where the color is, and down near the bottom you see these rounded flower conicals that supported the flower before it finished off. So once that stem is spent, and there's a lot of spent blossom heads down at the bottom, that's when it's time to deadhead these, and that'll encourage another flush of growth. So the earlier photo that I showed with the plant cut back where they're just starting to bloom out again, that one's been tightened up, and it also, when you do that, it tightens up the plant, makes it look good, and then it's all ready for another flush of bloom. If you're in a cold winter area, then you usually get one long bloom. I've cut mine back and never had them rebloom, because by the time I'm cutting them back, it's usually the end of August or early September, and there's no time for a rebloom on that. So you still get about 2 to 3 strong months of bloom out of them in an inland area.